So, how does it feel to live in my white skin in the US? I think it feels like being in a boat on a river and you're rowing, but always with the current, never upstream. I don't feel sad to be white in the US. I'm grateful for what I have. I understand that my whiteness certainly played a role in that. Opened doors to me that might not have otherwise been opened. Gave me opportunities. And wealth, which I married into. I came from a poorer family with a lot of mental illness, but I married into wealth. And in this family, my wife's parents, really, I'm not sure they would have been open to someone of a different race marrying their daughter. Now, even though I'm not sad to be white, I'm also not proud of my whiteness. I think Europeans, they didn't discover the U.S. They invaded. I have an ancestor that, according to the internet anyway, came over on the Mayflower. So, my lineage is part of the first wave of invaders. That's not something I'm proud of, but I also don't feel guilty. I didn't choose this skin, to be born into white skin, to be born into a system that privileges white skin. I recognize the benefits of that privilege, at least some of them. I'm sure I have more work to do in that area, but I don't feel guilty. However, I do feel responsible. I do not feel justified. Simply because I didn't ask to be born in this skin or into a system that privileges my white skin. I don't feel that that justifies the fact that generations of people with brown skin and black skin have been systematically prevented from accumulating the wealth that I have been able to accumulate and my family has been able to accumulate. I feel responsible for what comes next, for the choices that we make to create not just a more just system. Feels like a cop-out. I'm not looking for more just. Although I understand progress happens one step at a time, I'm looking for a truly just system. And I feel responsible. I feel I have to participate in bringing that about at the highest levels of government that my tiny influence can muster, but also at the local level and in my community, in my neighborhood, sharing wealth in ways that might be run counter to the culture making decisions, taking risks that may not be financially wise, but that provide others with opportunities that they should have had all along. I feel that sense of responsibility. Now, as far as my thoughts on being a member of the white race or of European descent, to be honest, I don't think about it much. I don't have to. I don't think about my whiteness when I walk into a store. I don't think about my whiteness when I go for a run late at night in my neighborhood. I don't think about my whiteness when I pass a cop on the highway or when I'm pulled over. Which happened a lot more when I was poor and when I looked poor, when I drove cars that made it clear I was poor. I was basically living out of my car at one point in my life, and cops loved pulling me over then for no reason at all. And it didn't have anything to do with my whiteness. However, because we live in this system where my whiteness is privileged, I don't have to think about it. And that same privilege should be enjoyed by every single person in this country or who might come to this country, no matter what color skin they have. And again, there was a responsibility shared by all of us to bring that ideal into reality. As far as the cultural strengths, there's not a shared culture among all white people, because race is a figment. It's just made up. And because white people can come from all kinds of places and have all kinds of backgrounds and cultures. So there's not really a shared culture, but I do think that one of the strengths white people have in this country right now is power. Power and wealth have been accumulated, and influence as a result have been accumulated in the hands of white people mostly. And that can be a strength if we use that power to bring about justice. If we let go of that power and we share it, viewing one another as partners, not competitors, as human beings worthy of dignity and respect, not as consumers or resources to be used up or to be bled dry. Or to be climbed over on our way to the top. So, that's it.